Welcome to the Premier League show. It's over. The Premier League is finished for the season.
And we get to do this show next season.
Everton is safe. And everything else has been decided.
It has.
Before we go through the things, how it unfolded, things like Player of the Year are being spoken about now. We talked about Manager of the Year last week and who we thought. But Son at Spurs, 23 goals and no penalties.
Not a penalty in sight.
Did he deserve to be nominated for Player of the Year? Should be the Player of the Year? Well, Adam McCullough on the Last Man Standing, which is sponsored by BetVictor on their YouTube channel, has been speaking about Son.
Look, I'm going to look at this from a little bit more of a serious angle, yeah. I genuinely believe, for the same reason Salah probably didn't get Player of the Year, I think players from the Asian continent and the African continent are sometimes just less regarded in the English media. I know Heung-min's son is someone that is, you know, everyone tries to force you to like him. Oh, Sonny, this, that, and the other, and that kind of grinds my gears a lot. Yeah, like I hate that part of it. Like I don't want to like him. Stop trying to force me to like someone. But at the same time, I do think they get like Conor Gallagher. You know, he's English. He's come through. You know, here, and therefore he's going to get a little bit more highly rated in the media, and those kind of things help sway opinions and that. And Son will just go under the radar. Also, from a footballing perspective, I think Spurs didn't have the best of start. You had a manager that was getting sacked. Conte come in. There was a period of time where Conte just looked like he wants to get out there as soon as he had arrived. A bit like Lukaku at Chelsea. So all those kind of things combined probably haven't helped him. But I agree he should be nominated at the very, very least.
Nice one, Adam. You can watch the rest of that video. The link is in the description below. Make sure you leave a comment and give the video a like. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, there you go, Adam. Some words on Son, but he's had a fantastic season for Spurs. Spurs didn't start very well. No. You know, they sacked Nuno after 10 games. Him and Kane.
Isn't it weird though? Isn't it weird like that he's ended up like joint top goal scorer? For me, he should be top goal scorer, by the way, because he didn't get any penalties. So therefore, so he should. That should be the tiebreaker. But isn't it weird that, like, genuinely, right? If you'd asked me at the weekend who was the top goal scorer, I wouldn't have said Son, because I don't know. We don't really, for the last couple of years. I know Salah's been massively consistent, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the team who wins the league, City, don't seem to have like a massive, like 30 goals, 30 goal a season player.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Son, I wouldn't have seen. I know he scored goals, but because I don't know whether it must be because Spurs have only finished fourth or have finished fourth. It's weird. In years gone by, you used to like you'd
know, wouldn't you?
You'd know who the strikers really were, because it seemed like they were banging goals in all the time. Where he doesn't seem to be banging them, but he is. And maybe that's a disrespect from my part that I haven't noticed them enough. I don't know. Whereas you notice Kane when he scores the goals. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
He's had a great end to the season. He's got another 2 at the weekend. Obviously, Spurs went to Norwich and beat them 5-0 to secure that 4th place spot. Yeah. He weighed in with another couple. But him and Kane, they've already broke the record for the best partnership in terms of goals for each other. Him and Kane have been unbelievable at times this season, and they've had such a strong end to the season. Because Arsenal all but had that 4th place wrapped up, and then Tottenham have just, you know, Conte got them going again. He started winning games again. In fact, it was beating Everton 5-0, which kick-started them again, and then little couple of results in a week didn't go great, and then he picked it up again, and they've ended up finishing in 4th place. But Son absolutely deserves to be up there nominated.
It was a good win for them at Norwich.
It was a great win. They went and they were ruthless. They went there and destroyed them, and fair play to them. Arsenal played Everton, knowing that Spurs were likely to beat Norwich, knowing that 4th place was likely to evade them. Everton turned up with 6 changes, having just secured Premier League survival. half of them still looked like they were on the ale, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It was a game too far for that Everton squad. They walked around the pitch. Arsenal were too good for them. Arsenal ran out 5-1 winners to secure 5th place. But I done an Arsenal podcast on the Friday with Princess Guna and Alan Myers was on it.
Is that a real name?
Amanda. And there was a lot of comments in the thing about Arteta.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise how many Arsenal fans were against Arteta in their comments. It might have just been that demographic.
Yeah.
But even Robbie I've done Sky this week as well, the overlap, and Robbie was on it, and there was a lot of, he was referencing how many people don't think Arteta has done a good job. But
yeah,
it is weird.
I think it's
it?
because of the season, the way they finished the season. Being picked by Tottenham is not a good look.
Yeah.
And I think if you'd asked the same people maybe 6 weeks ago, they would have been very complimentary of where they were. They were in 4th place.
Young side, aren't they?
They have thrown it away. Let's get it right. They have thrown, when they beat Man United 3-1.
It looked like
they were absolutely nailed on for it, and they have thrown it away. And I do put that down to maybe him being inexperienced, but also having an inexperienced team and not having those leaders that.
He lost Tierney, didn't he? He was big for them, and Partey was
Partey, and not having those leaders who push you through the difficult moments. And I think he's done a good job. I think he's finishing 5th. All right, who they finish behind, they will question.
Makes it worse, doesn't it?
But then Conte is a world-class manager, and he's got 2 world-class strikers playing up front for him. People forget that, and all really he had to do was get the rest of the team organised, and that's exactly what he's done. It's exactly what he done with Inter Milan. You know, last year when they won the league, they had Lukaku and you know, they had other players, but they were organised, and that's what Conte brings you. It's obviously the Italian manager. You know, I think people forget that. They forget that Spurs, 2 world-class players there. I wouldn't say any of the Arsenal players are world-class.
No,
at all.
But he's done. I think he has done well at it because they've gone from 8th to 5th. So that is progress. They're in Europe next season. Okay. Again, there's the.
Mate, do you think though one of the reasons why is because a lot of Arsenal fans had actually gone ahead of themselves and thought we've got this sewn up, and therefore they're almost licking their own wounds because
and losing it to Spurs.
Well, I've watched a couple of little compilation videos that some people had put up over the weekend of what had been said on different shows, Arsenal Fan TV and stuff, and they were very confident, very cocky about thinking they'd already got that sewn up. And they thought they were going to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and put the exclamation mark on it. You know what I mean? I think some of them have ended up looking like fools because they'd thought that it was sewn up, and I think that might drive the anger because there's nothing where you can be annoyed at your own team, but then when you know, with social media, everything these days, and no one forgets anything anyone ever says. If you get ahead of yourself, you're taking your anger that you're feeling because people are having a go at you on other people. Yeah, so I think that's part of it.
Interesting. Obviously, the title went down to the last 10 minutes.
I know, why are we still talking about that?
It's just crazy. Yeah, no, we do. We do have to talk. Obviously, unbelievable, really. It's just crazy the way it played out. You know, City at home to Aston Villa, Liverpool at home to Wolves. We knew Liverpool would win because they're they're strong, but obviously went behind after 3 minutes. And you know, you're looking at that going, "Oh, what's happened there?" But you still, even at 1-0, I still thought Liverpool would win.
Yeah,
it's just that it went on for a longer period, and then obviously City go behind to a Mathew cash header, Villa's first real proper break. And then Villa are very comfortable at 1-0. Very comfortable. City not playing well at all. Go into the second half, both teams are losing. Liverpool equalise, obviously. It's 1-1. City are losing, but City is still going to win it on goal difference. And then obviously Phil Coutinho makes it 2-0. And then you're looking and thinking, there was 20 minutes to go, they were 2-0 down, but Liverpool were 1-1. And you knew Liverpool would find a way to win it, to win the game. But at that stage, Man City must have been thinking, no chance here.
I mean, it was weird. I never watched either game. I was watching the Everton game. I mean, why wouldn't you be watching the Everton game? You know what I mean?
Classic game.
It's my job.
Yeah.
And I was just getting messages and stuff. And when Villa were 1-0 up, I was thinking, oh.
Yeah.
And then when it went 2-0 and Coutinho had scored, I was like, I can sign.
Your message come through said, prepare yourselves, lads.
And I was just thinking, well, that's it, isn't it? They're going to get it. And then, the goals start going in, the 1 and the 2. And then when it got to 2-2, I thought, you'll win this because it happened that quick. But what was interesting is that Liverpool at no point were top of the league.
Top of the league, no.
And I thought that was interesting. Just from a point of a narrative of the story of the day, at no point could Liverpool fans turn around and say we lost it, because they didn't. Yeah. Because by the time they got 3-2 up, Liverpool was still drawing. Liverpool then got a second and they got a third late on. But once it went 3-2, City were never going to lose that game. And I know there was a little rumour going around Anfield that it was 3-3.
Why would people do that in the home section? I don't
know. I know the Wolves fans were singing songs, but I don't think it was anything to do with them. I don't know. And I know I've seen.
That was a clip of
the Red Men and one of the lads on there got caught up in the excitement of the crowd. And Steve was like, "What are you talking about?" Like,
because he was looking at the thing, wasn't he?
It does happen. It's happened before, and it'll happen again. These things do happen. But it was that kind of day, and obviously City just did what City do, rolled them over, and then, they've got another. Liverpool. It was weird, Liverpool, because just looking at it, they looked very, very flat themselves, and even when they went. Even when people knew Villa were winning 2-0, it never really got, by the looks of it, Liverpool going.
Yeah.
And again, that's quite interesting. Did they just run out of steam? Obviously, they're going to win the game because they've got too many good players. But the day that those players truly believed themselves, and then when it was 2-0, did they think, you try and go again, but you can't. You just can't step up in a game sometimes.
Liverpool
City literally did.
They did, of course they did. They done what they had to do. They won the game by 3-1. But City, 3 goals in 5 minutes. Yeah. It's just dumb. I mean, he made 2 changes, didn't he? Brought Sterling and Gundogan on, and obviously they combined for the first goal. Great ball to the back post. And once it went 2-1, you're thinking the crowd lifted, and obviously Rodri scores 2-2. And then there's only one winner. I mean, City had 72% of the ball, 24 attempts at goal to 4. They were in total control, but just weren't playing well. And once they got 3-2 up, it was game over, wasn't it? And like you say, it was interesting because Liverpool were never ever top at any stage. But don't forget, Liverpool done well to pull this back. City were miles ahead at one stage. Like, not miles, but they had a good lead.
12 points.
12 points with a game in hand, Liverpool had, didn't he? So it was 9 points, say. That's a lot. That's a lot of points to be ahead in like February or whatever. So Liverpool done really well to pull it back, but obviously City have won another one, and Pep Guardiola was crying at the end and all that, and it was unbelievable for them. And people like Gundogan, who looks like he's moving on.
He's staying now, isn't he?
Oh, is he staying?
Apparently staying.
Well, there was talk Sunday morning that he was going. And maybe he's gone. I'm staying then, this is boss. But I've seen rumours that Chelsea are looking to take Raheem Sterling. And City are open to it, which is an interesting
I think with Haaland coming in, and I can imagine a couple more coming in. And
they want Calvin Phillips, they want Cucurella from Brighton, don't they, the left back? So
I could see them doing those deals.
They're a big.
I think Leeds need a big injection of cash, and I think that would help them. And he can't go to United,
even though United are interested.
Yeah, I could see them. You don't rest on your laurels.
For Liverpool, again, this is something yesterday, and they've the point totals have been amazing, what they've posted, and they haven't won the league with it. It's it must be really difficult, mustn't it, that you're performing unbelievably. How do those players come back and go again?
I don't know, but they've done this a couple of years now. I mean, Man City, what is it? I think they dropped 21 points all season. All season. And they're going out and buying Haaland. And Liverpool they have recycled their squad really well, and it's brought quality in.
the front positions are much better.
Yeah, they've brought a couple centre-backs in and stuff, and they're looking...
Carvalho's coming from Fulham.
I think they're going to back up, they need to get a backup for the right back and stuff, and they need, you know, the midfield, it is an aging midfield, actually, even now they've brought players in, you know, it's slightly more aging, but they're looking at the kid from Monaco. So, it is difficult, and of course, I think Pep Guardiola actually, he did sacrifice this year the League Cup and the FA Cup semi-final, because he just didn't want the distractions. Of course, he wants to do better in the Champions League, and really they should have. And I think that's where he's brought Haaland, why he wanted Haaland to be the killer, to be the fella who kills off those teams. And obviously, if you are going to change the style slightly, if you are going to have a centre forward, then you might have to change the people around you, and you might not always need that player like Sterling now. And they could get good money for him at this point in his career. So it's going to be an interesting summer for both clubs, because obviously, even though Salah said he's staying, he still hasn't signed the contract. And Mane says he'll tell them after the Champions League, which just sounds a little bit obvious. And you know, there's rumours of going to Bayern Munich and becoming their number one player, because Lewandowski looks like he's going to Barcelona. So it could be a big summer. It could be a big summer.
Definitely. So yeah, that was 1 and 2. Chelsea, we knew, were third. Ross Barkley scoring a late winner. 2 Everton players, ex-Everton players scoring in the game. Dan Gosling, 87th minute equaliser before Ross Barkley scored. We talked about Manchester United and West Ham the other day. Yeah. And at one stage on Sunday, West Ham were above United. They were winning at Brighton. Wilf Zaha had scored for Palace. But, you know, West Ham go to Brighton. David Moyes, you know, having a great season, West Ham. You know, Europa League semi-final, doing everything. Tough team. Took the lead through Mikel Antonio. 5 minutes before half-time, and that. Zaha had scored, I think, after 37 minutes at Palace. So West Ham were actually above United. I always knew Palace would beat United, just because United had switched off. But, you know, to go and be ahead at half-time and thinking we're above them, and then Brighton, who haven't been scoring goals, and get all of a sudden, they've ended the season with goals.
They have recently.
Well, that's 7 in the last 2
And that'd be a great incentive for Potter next year, if he stays, of course, which I imagine he will now, if Conte stays at Tottenham. They've done brilliantly, and I think they've got the highest point tally. They've got over 50, is it? Over 50? They've done brilliantly.
First time they've ever got over 50.
They've done brilliantly in the back half of the season, and they've started scoring goals. And if they actually did go out and bought a decent striker, like a 15-goal a season striker, then they could just creep up into those European places maybe, or be pressuring.
Well, he'd be in the conversation for them, won't he? But they haven't really been this year. They finished strongly, but they haven't really been in it, whereas you're right, with another striker, they could. And Danny Welbeck's had a good end to the season, another goal at the weekend. So big win for them, and West Ham. They're in the Conference League, aren't they?
Yeah.
So still in Europe, excellent for Moyes.
Big chance for them to do well next season.
And then obviously it was down to the relegation. Everton had won 3-2 last week to secure their Premier League survival, which meant going into this Sunday it was Burnley or Leeds. Leeds were at Brentford. Brentford were rubbing their hands together with the opportunity to relegate Leeds. Spoke to a Leeds fan this week, and he was like, that's all they've been talking about, Brentford. They wanted to send them down. And Burnley were at home to Newcastle, which was always going to be tough.
And obviously they got a point at Villa last week as well, which probably felt, well,
will be enough.
We get something.
We only had to match Leeds' result, didn't we? And it was Leeds who ended up staying up.
But isn't it funny though? Remarkable. We were talking last week about Everton and talking about why they had to be Palace, which obviously they did. We were saying that last game of the season, anything could happen, you know. And Leeds took the lead, good penalty. And then then Brentford get an equaliser, and then the lad takes his shirt off and gets sent off for it. And that's what we were talking about last week. You can't predict what's going to happen in a game of football. You can't. I think Brentford had actually already gone down to 10 men. They got an injury. They used all their subs. So I think they were down to 10 men because of injuries. And then he gets sent off for taking his shirt off. And then Leeds, it's 1-1. And actually at that point, Leeds were safe anyway. Yeah. Because Newcastle were winning. But then Burnley score and then miss a couple of sitters. And then it's 1-1 in the other game. And then Leeds go and get that late goal with I think it was an injury deflected goal, which kept them up. But it just shows you can say, oh, they're going to get battered, they're a better team. But you do want, you can't you can't just, see a game and go, well, a player's going to go off injured and you're down to 10 minutes and then someone's going to be sent off for taking his shirt off. Do you know what I mean? Like
something nonsense
something
like
stupid.
that. Yeah.
And that's where football is where it just drives you mental. Yeah. Where there are other factors. But Burnley, of course, they've gone down 2-1 to Newcastle and they've hit the track goal.
6 years. They've been in the Prem and they're gone. Callum Wilson, who's a big player for Newcastle, back with a couple of goals, won a penalty.
Yeah.
Ended up with that, and it was Burnley who were relegated, and devastating for them, obviously, on the final day. Elsewhere, the only other game was
Leicester.
Leicester beat Southampton 4-1.
It was there for
Everton
us.
could have just got a point.
It was there for us to take.
Iosi Perez with a couple, Jamie Vardy, James
Good end of the season for James Maddison.
Was a good end of the season, and that concluded the Premier League. So let's have a look at the league table. Manchester City 93 points.
Yeah.
Liverpool 92 from 38 games, unbelievable. Chelsea 74 points and Spurs 71 points, and then Arsenal 5th with 69, and then United. I mean, Everton would have been 6th this season with their points total from last season.
But so would the Leeds.
Yeah. United 58 points, and West Ham 56, Leicester 52, Brighton and Wolves 51. And then at the bottom we had Norwich 22, Watford 23 and Burnley 35. Then Leeds 38 and Everton 39. So Newcastle finishing strongly with 49 points, finished above Palace. What a second half of the season Eddie Howe and Newcastle
amazing. Fair play to them.
Done really, really well. So there you go, that's it. The Premier League season is done. We can have a nice breather throughout the summer because we've needed it as Evertonians. It's been a horrible season.
But it'll be back sooner than you know.
It will be. August the 7th it starts all over again. Enjoy your summer. See you later.